What's going on, everybody? It's Chris. Happy Saturday. I hope you all are enjoying your weekend. I'm in the shop today. I was doing a little bit of cleaning, but I was spending a lot of time today going through the SecretLab's Magnus Pro to kind of develop some more opinions, what I think of the overall build quality of this desk, and just some general thoughts on it. Overall, my opinion of this desk is not very high, and it's going to be for the obvious, of which we stated in our initial impression video, that it's extremely unstable. I mean, that's just terrible. We'll go into some details on why I think that's happening. But to start things off, I take my hat off to Secret Labs. It's no small feat to develop a new product, to do the power integrated column, to go through all the UL testing, the BIFMA testing. All of that is a lot of money. I mean, UL testing in the States is probably 30 to 40,000. So it's not cheap to do. But with that said, those accreditations also need to be taken with a grain of salt, because they just make sure that it's safe and it's not going to blow up and be a fire hazard or be a hazard to children or anything like that. It doesn't mean it's the most stable thing. So, BIFMA, UL, that gets thrown around a lot. And while it is important, it doesn't mean that it is an amazing desk. So, hats off to them for the amount of work and effort they put into the cable management. It's really cool. I mean, I really dig it. If they could have made it a little bit more stable, then this review would be totally different. But unfortunately, it's not. So, I mean, let's talk about it. Their core audience is a gamer or streamer, and this is why I think it just misses the mark. I can't imagine being a gamer / streamer and standing in gaming and trying to game while my monitors are shaking everywhere, and or my camera mounted to my desk that's streaming is pissing off my audience because it's just shaking so much. So sure, you can mount the camera on the wall or something like that, but I just think that misses the mark. And my overall thought on that is Magnus is they're a big company and they are great at marketing. And while there's a lot of things on here I think they did to shave product cost, when they intend to sell 100,000 units a year, if they can shave $10 on there, that's $1 million. And my belief is that they are we would rather spend that $1 million on marketing and push the product out, because most of the time, once a customer gets it, they're probably just going to keep it anyways, because they don't want to go through the hassle of a return. Where, in Desk House's case, we sell 5,000 desks a year. And for us to spend an extra $10 on a frame to make it more stable, we're going to do that. I mean, it's a $50,000 investment, but it's what we're known for. We're not known for ads. In fact, we've never personally spent money on an ad. This is our marketing. So, all right, let's talk about it. Let's start at the bottom. They're using I would say they're using a cheap and efficient manufacturing process for most everything on this base, which cuts cost and ultimately I think is going to cut down the quality and stability of this base. Let's start with the foot. I've gone ahead and pulled off the little plastic cap, and what a lot of you guys will notice with this look of it, the foot is very similar to super cheap models you see on Amazon, where normally when they're white they still have the little black cap. And what that tells me, just by looking at it, is they're using a metal extrusion, and this comes in 50-foot lengths. You just add the cuts, add your drill holes where you need it, and you're done. It's really efficient, it's really cheap, and it overall isn't the best product. This is an 11 gauge metal. Our Vertex over there is an 8 gauge metal. Man, look at all this oil and grease. That is just no bueno. That is 10 pounds per foot. This foot right here is 4.5 pounds, and it's only 24 inches long. And since this desk, if you include everything, is 27, it would have been nicer to see a little bit bigger foot, because it's gonna push the glides further apart and hopefully add a little bit more stability, but they didn't do that. So when I see something like this on a foot, one, I know they're doing it because they wanna make it lighter because they're shipping it, and it's a more cheap and efficient way of producing it, where that you have to actually, have a fixture, have welds, and it's more expensive. Then let's go to the columns. So they might have been able to get away with a 2-segment base, which is like our mid-range base right here, but here you can see 1, 2, 3 segments. And they're doing that because they need to get additional height range, because when this is all the way lower, it obviously can't go over the cable. And because of this, when you go to a 3-segment base, it's gonna have less column overlap. As it gets further apart, there's gonna be less of this tube inside here, which the glide is pushing against, which is gonna make it more unstable, which is the downside to any 3-seg base, which might even be worse because this isn't being fully used. I think they probably just added length here instead of actually adding length there and up top. I mean, there's no way, or this base would be more stable. Also, the connection points up here, I mean, it's a really quick install. They say it should take 15 minutes, but I think it took my guys 30 minutes to do it, just because there's a lot of different things that we're not used to. I mean, we would probably consider like our bases like a true 4x4, like it's a platform which you build off of, where this is all integrated like a unibody. So the initial assembly might not be as easy for somebody that's had a product like ours or from other manufacturers out there. For somebody new, maybe it'll take them 15 minutes, but I highly doubt it. There's going to be instability because, you know, you're just tightening this down, and there's, you know, it's going to allow movement right here. Also, since this desktop isn't very heavy, you're also probably going to get some up and down movement. All right, so we talked about the foot, the column. The top is metal. Honestly, I don't really have anything bad to say about it. You know, it's a new thing. We haven't really seen metal tops before. It's definitely a way to save cost because this has got to be hollow, I imagine, on the inside. I can't speak for 100% certainty. Don't know if I can tell, but if it is, it's probably way lighter than your standard laminate top, which is going to help on shipping. And let's just have a little, sorry, I'm going to do this little tangent. I felt really dirty unpackaging this product for the fact that when I was done with it, I think we had like 2 or 3 garbage bags full of foam and black foam and things that we can't really recycle. Like each corner of this top had 2 of these, and then, you know, there was abundance of this black foam, which, you know, is single time use and can't be recycled. And I felt really dirty about it because if they're going to sell 100,000 units a year, that's a shit ton of waste. And I really think it's important that people, you know, I'm not the biggest environmentalist or anything like that, but I think it's important that we tell companies that, like, hey, we want like sustainable packaging. Most of all of our products, everything is cardboard, and if there's plastic, like plastic bags on the columns or the tops, like that's recyclable. The only black like foam that we use like that is in our wood tops, which has 4 of those on the corners, and everything else is recyclable. So, you know, for example, we have our Detroit or Lansing tops right here. You know, you got your top, you got your plastic bag that you can recycle that has the top in it, and then the corner protection and everything is foam, or not foam, is cardboard. So everything there you can completely recycle, where with the Magnus box, the only thing that we could recycle is the outermost cardboard. So again, tangent, I just couldn't help but think about the amount of waste that's generating. I think people should be more aware of it when they make their purchase decisions, and or maybe not be aware of it, but just tell companies that, hey, we would really like to see more sustainable packaging. All right, tangent aside, man, I don't know. You guys have probably seen that. I don't know if I mentioned it because of all my little talking, but for anybody that is a SecretLabs lover and thinks that I, you know, am purposely keeping something loose, or, you know, you have this desk and it's incredibly stable, bullshit. I got 10 grand right over there. That 10 grand, all you got to do is you got to come here. We'll do a little video just like this. You'll say, Chris, you're an idiot. Look, this is what you did. So much more stable now. And if you can prove in a meaningful way that the desk is more stable than I'm portraying it to be, that 10 grand is yours. So come and get it. But let's talk a little bit more on We talked about the top, the integrated, you know, cable trough in the back, cool. I don't, you know, overall, it's a bad desk, you know, period. But Secret Labs is a huge company that has a lot of marketing dollars, and you know they're going to get you guys on this RGB and organization and things like that. But again, I'm going to call this product and all of Secret Labs products kind of juvenile. They're not the most professional looking stuff. You know, it's nothing like that. We don't sell this chair. We give this chair away. Like, we don't sell this, but I think you're better off spending more money and buying a chair like that than spending $700-800 on, you know, one of their chairs and then eventually upgrading to something like that because you mature a little. God, I'm gonna get all the people out of the woodworks screaming at me for that. But and also having a desk that maybe looks a little bit more professional might go with your girlfriend's future furniture picks than something that looks like you just moved out from your parents. But hey, they make more money than I do, so hats off to them. The world might change one day. All right, guys. So I haven't really talked much about that, but let's lower this desk down to about the same height. Just listen to all that motion. And it's not the feet clicking. It's like all this stuff. By the way, somebody came and brought me this, so thank you. You know, same thing. I mean, it's solid. It's high quality. It's U.S. manufacturing. You know, I have nothing against, there's a lot of products that come from overseas, iPhones, that are great. But I think in a saturated market like height adjustable desks, there is an extreme difference in the price points and the quality you get. Where ultimately, look, hey, that desk right there, veneer top, power integration, that's going to be about $1,200. You know, this came out to about $960 with the top and the magnet pieces and everything that, you know, you can get with it. Maybe it was $800 without it. I don't know. But again, what's the point of spending $800 when you can't even properly stand at it without driving yourself, your gamers, your streamers, whatever, nuts. But hey, I'm not the biggest gamer, so maybe I'm wrong on that. But I'm going to pop that bottle, guys, and I hope everybody has a good rest of their weekend. I'll see ya.